I think I've been taking pictures forever. My father used to have a camera, so I used to play with it and he used to teach me how to use it because it was a mechanical camera, because he was also passionate with photography. I used to have a dark room, and so at the same time I was also very curious of images and like studying them. Got fascinated in like just staring at pictures and just wondering and making my dreams, about what was going on in the picture. So that's how it started, and then it was kind of a coincidence. A friend of mine asked me if I wanted to join her for a darkroom classes. So I just went and I started printing on my own, and I got passionate and started taking pictures of my friends. As everybody starts, like you like the lights and you start taking pictures, and from there, I never stopped. So I would say like since I was a kid, like my first camera, I had it like I was 4 years old. So forever. And then it got serious, like when I was 18 or something. Mm-hmm. And from then on, I just kept on taking pictures. I don't know, it's always difficult to talk about what you do, but at the beginning I was not sure about what I was doing, I just try something. And then I realized that what like my topics are all the time is like retaining time, which is kind of peculiar of photography in general, Also creating like this new dimension of time that comes from every situation, every object, every fascinating light that you find, which is also very typical of photography. But in that way, it kind of expanded and took many forms of expressions and many ways of, representing this. So every work is actually on time and memory, and how also how we are in love with the fact that photography has this particular significance for us, which is like a piece of time that we can collect and keep. And at the same time, you just look outside in the world and you see these spaces which kind of retain time more than others, and they kind of get this. They do this magical, this magical trick of, in some way of framing them, or in some lights they have, or in something that it's inside them, that kind of is not comprehensible like instantly, and so you keep on wondering about it, and it also expands the time that you just spend on something that maybe most of the times is not really interesting in itself, or it's not considered so astonishing or shocking. I wouldn't say even trivial, because it's not trivial, but it's just an everyday street, but it kind of sometimes like things show themselves in a different way, and you capture it and you just transmit this sensation to other people so they can feel it too. So it also involves like making people feel that the exact thing that you were feeling or sort of that thing. Of course, they will feel something else as well, and that's also fascinating, what they actually see in what you do. So, it's like such a big topic and goes on and on forever, and it's also evolving because, from the feedbacks you have and from all the works that you get done at some point, and how you work on them, reflecting on the process, they change all the time. I used to do more landscapes or interiors, exteriors. Now I find myself taking portraits of people, but which are really not portraits, because they mostly talk about how our affection towards the images of our dears, how we preserve pictures, as we preserve our love towards someone. So, it's kind of, it can be whatever. Well, I've always wanted to live abroad, because I never did. And I was going through a very difficult period of my life. I was really unhappy and having some sort of personal issues. And at the same time, I was really bored with my city and bored with my lifestyle, the fact of also being a little bit not active for my photography, for promoting it, just a little bit. I've started even in Italy, but it was, I don't know, it looked like there were not so many chances to do something, a more closed environment. So at some point I just freaked out and decided, in 2 days I decided I was moving to New York. I've changed because I finally decided to leave and to take a chance to really take this challenge, you know. So it affected me, like how I am, how I behave towards my life, you know, how I see things. And so of course it changed my photography and reflection. And also I did like a work on New York, on my experience here, and I think it was really different from what I used to do. So it was kind of the same because it's always me and, you know, my experience, my look on the world, but at the same time it was really different and I think more mature, you know, so more complete, I think, in some ways. I am actually kind of person who really cares a lot about memories, not in the fact that I'm kind of morbidly attached to them, but they fascinate me a lot, the way we remember things, the way we look at the past and how the past affects us. Also, the fact that memory kind of keeps the time still. So you just look back at what you remember and you go over and over the same memories. And you don't remember everything you did, but just those specific things that are so important, and you can go on remembering those things for all your life, and they affect you so much. And most of them, of course, for all of us, and of course for me as well, are visuals. Some of the images you have of past events, of sensations, or bound to images, or every kind of sensations you had, of course, even with other senses, but the eyes are really important. I used to write a lot. I used to write all the time, especially when I was younger. I used to create through writing, but at some point it didn't fit me anymore, and I don't know, I find it hard now to sit there and just write, because I don't know, maybe it's just that thoughts go faster, or it's just that words cannot really express some things that I want to say. I find them limited sometimes in the fact that words have very, you know, kind of strict significance, or maybe it's just me that I'm not able to use them to like bend them to make them signify what I want. And you know, I found that images are so open, you know, they can leave things open much more, like in my opinion, and as far as I can use them, you know. So they leave things more open, and you can go on wandering and find your place in them, and share stuff with the images you face. I also did some films sometimes, but just very few times. I would love to try that. I actually did something which I never showed to anyone because it's, you know, it's kind of not ready, and not ready for me as well, and not sure about it. I started a few projects in the last year that I have to, you know, go on with. They're still at the very beginning of them, and they're also bound to the same themes, but expressed in different ways and leading to other, you know, concepts and other reflections. The world, in the practice, you know, I would like to go on trying to exhibit my work and try to find other places to show what I do, because it's very important for me that people look at what I do. Also because you can talk about it, have feedbacks, and also because it's like I am doing it so someone can look at it, you know. I'm doing it for myself, but I'm at the same time doing it for other people, because I need them to look at what I want them to look at, you know. It's like you really want to communicate something. So yeah, I hope I will go on like this, you know. I have this occasion to show my work, and I'm really happy, and I hope there's gonna be more in the future, you know. Thank you.